Hi, I'm Toby Hodges. This is the Vaan R5. Really interesting new aluminium boat from the Netherlands. Catamaran, a big catamaran at that. Let's hop aboard. Seven years ago now, I was walking along a boat show like this and walked into a guy who introduced himself. I got a clue in, and he said he's going to build the first recyclable aluminium catamaran in series, essentially. And the result is this. Well, that first one was the R4, but now they've come to the show with this. So the R4 was 40-footer, they built 4, and this is the R5, 49-footer. They have an R6 in design and even an 80-footer as well. As you can see, well, that is a lot of aluminium. One of the most interesting things about this is, I'm really glad this one has, by the way, the bare aluminium look to it, which a couple of the R4s have had as well, but it really showcases this product because it's not new. It's sourced from 60% recycled consumer aluminium. That means from window frames, street signs, that sort of thing, traffic lights. Let's jump aboard, there's less people in there. And I think there's a design-wise really interesting boat as well, because it mixes 3 S's: style, sustainability and shape. So they're meant to be nice yachts to sail, first and foremost. Naval architecture is done by Dijkstra, one of the most renowned Dutch naval architects in the world, and there's a lot of style that goes in here. The only reason I'm walking up here first is because there's probably about 20 people in the boat at the moment. But a few things to point out on deck. The cork, for a start. I mentioned the amount of recycled aluminium in here, and obviously aluminium is a recyclable product as well. So in terms of end of life, it's a great material to use. It can go on and on and on. It also creates a very stiff structure, and it's not coming out of a mold, so you can adapt it, very semi-customizable type yacht. Cork deck they use a lot can just be non-slip brushed aluminium on here as well. This has a nice little cocktail area for a couple or 4 to sit up here on the foredeck, and then you have deep stowage in here. I'm going to keep talking about the materials and concept of the boat as I show you around it. Just hope that works out. But this is a good place to show you what it's actually made out of as well. So super deep. 4 peaks in here as well, so you can put your lightweight stuff in here. Got fenders and you could put a sail, but there's a sail locker back there as well. Yeah, fenders and lines, tie them up here, ready to go. Deck cushions maybe as well. So the rest of the boat, that doesn't need a crash box, I guess, being built out of such a strong material, but this is a watertight bulkhead here as well. I think were you to hit anything, whatever you do hit, it's probably going to come off second best. But it's something to factor in as well, because you know, safety at sea, there's a lot more floating objects around. There are rocks everywhere, there are containers and that sort of thing. So that would give a lot of peace of mind with a yacht like this. So it's not just for people that are going expedition style sailing. It could be for the Med, or it could be Atlantic or North Europe, that sort of thing. So there's a sail locker in here for Jenica Code 0, and more storage up here, and then self-tackling jibber out up on the roof. Solar panels there as an option, and then you can see a bit of ventilation getting into here. But I'll point out just how amazing these big glass windows are from inside, and how well insulated the boat is. As I walk aft here, no, there's no handrails, but they're integrated into the roof there, proper solid. Aluminium stanchions, no dissimilar metals. Well, there are a bit around the same stainless steel where they on hatches or at the bottom of the standing rigging there, but aluminium cleats, aluminium stanchions bolted through the cap rails as well. It is a very, very sturdy looking ship. Recessed traveller here. This has an optional furler boom on it. And this is, they describe this as a spoiler, which is a really neat feature, I think, because it's solid. You could stand on that if you want, but it has this tight fabric over it, and underneath that you've got bits that you can hide. So there's Starlink in there, GPS antenna and that sort of thing, which is a very, very few new yachts have come up with good ways of integrating Starlink, and yet all of them use it. Moving aft, they've got the V-grinder system, which they developed for the original R4 as well, and that's basically taking all of your lines by your main sheet and traveller, which come onto this winch. So twin helm set up a long way away from each other. This is a big beamy boat, but yeah, so that winch is taking the traveller on the roof and the main sheet, and then the rest of the halyards and lines coming up through these clutches here, tailed away into the tail bags, keep it all nice and clean. And also you can see where the davit lines come out through the jammers at an angle to be able to use on these winches as well. And these are solid, integrated into the structure in there, so you can lift some serious dinghy in that. Big dance floor of a cockpit. Yeah, obviously you could have larger tables. As I said, it's not. It's an aluminium boat, it's not moulded, so it's not fully custom, but you can choose what sort of furniture where you want it and that sort of thing. So this one has a very open plan layout to it. I was talking about this spoiler as well. This owner wanted a short one, but that can come right aft here to protect from the sun all of this cockpit area. And then you have these twin helm sections. Big factor of the yacht is that it's electric drive, twin electric drive. So it's a quiet yacht to be aboard. I haven't sailed it yet. From what I've been told, you know, they put the drives on in here in the harbour and put them on. You can hardly put them on, but that they allow you to do essentially with the right battery pack 4 to 6 days of silent motoring. Sorry, did I just say days? 4 to 6 hours of silent motoring at cruising speed. And then there's beneath me here, in the sail loft, in this engine room, is a big storage area, access to the steering gear, and a range extender. And what that means is it's a diesel genset for when you do want to go that extra distance. You put the diesel genset on, and then you can, depending on your tank size, but on average on this boat, you'd get 4 to 6 days of motoring, so 500 miles or so of motoring if you needed it. Get you a shot of the saloon while there's no one in here. So you get a good idea in amount of space. I mean, it's extraordinary. It's only a 49-footer. And I think what helps really give that impression is these. Beauty of using aluminium stiff structure. So then you put in proper glass double glazing in there, and you are flooded with natural light, and you know, you get to properly appreciate your surroundings in here, and that does create big use of space. So obviously some people will want to, you know, fit this saloon out differently. This has got a small sort of coffee table part here and a small table here, a small table outside. But again, that helps give that sense of space. If you wanted to have an island, galley, etc., you can. It's all very high-end luxury style, premium type finish to it. Real feeling of high-end design on here as well. And as I said, it's very well insulated. So this obviously has the sliding big doors open at the moment, so the aircon's not running in here, but with those closed, the boat's super well insulated. So you can cool it with this efficient electric heat cooling pump, which utilises salt water to help use that aircon. So coming down here on the port side, it's nice and cool. We got the aircon running in here. Because the boat is very well insulated, so it's designed to be an electric managed yacht. So it has, you know, designed to run electric engines, designed to run without fossil fuel. Yes, you can have the range extender on there as well, but with that it means 48 volt battery system, and a heat source pump as well, and also super good insulation. So this has PET, recycled PET foam insulation all around hull and deck for giving that insulation. The windows, they're double glazed, proper double glazed glass with insulation and anti-reflection in them as well. And then this huge double bed, 2.1 by 1.8 meters, I think. Electric drive below here. I'm not going to show you because that's a prototype at the moment. So they've asked me not to show that until it's finalised. But you can see it's an interesting layout because it's very modern design. There's a lot of space throughout. This is obviously just the bed area. You've got this big walkway, hallway that's all kind of like a walk-in closet before the owners heads and shower forward. But super deep stowage. So when you're down here, you can close this off. It's all very minimalist. Eagle did the sort of concept of the boat and his wife the styling of the interior. Loads of storage in here. You can have this as a hanging locker. So you're not short on space down here. Again, sliding door integrated in there, heads, and then big separate shower compartment, lots of natural light, and headroom throughout. I mean, it's such a high boat, really, really high. And that gives this impression of space. It's phenomenal. I mean, I know the Dutch are tall, but this is a lot of headroom. It's all obviously bright, a lot of white, very, very nicely finished in sort of an architectural design sort of way. Through in here, there's access to the cross beam in the systems. There's batteries, 48 volt battery bank on the other side, 20 volt, 4 volt here is a sort of surplus to use for the winches that's always getting topped up. But that is, structure otherwise in there, cross beam, taking the bridge deck loads. There's also, beneath this vinyl flooring, it's recycled PET as well as insulation, and recycled felt as well on the headlining, which is all very nice. So basically, either recycled or recyclable materials used throughout. So a note on materials, this is 60% post-recycled consumer alloy is the hull and deck. And Vaan has just signed a new contract to use the lowest impact or alloy in shipbuilding, so less than 2 kilos of CO2 per kilo of aluminium. Global average is apparently 8 kilos. So they work with Hydro, Norwegian supplier for that, for the recycled aluminium and alloy. Very quiet boat. And on the hull and deck, there's 8 cm of glass wool insulation. The standard is 5 mil, I think. This one gone for extra. Dropping down into the starboard cabin. So this is, I probably should have said before, 3 or 4 cabin boat. So this is the 3 cabin version with the starboard port side owner's hull. Nice sliding doors to close these areas off, including this aft cabin here. Which again, big raised berth here. So on this side, on the port side, there's basically a big garage below this area, so you can store all your toys and stuff come right aft under this berth or forward under this berth. Whereas on the port side, on the owner's side, you lose that space under the berth for more engine space. Hanging locker there, more storage outboard, and then this essentially shares a heads wet room shower area with that bunk cabin forward. So shower and heads, and again, sliding doors, lightweight, very nicely done, and a bunk cabin further forward. Again, there's access behind the wardrobe into the cross beam and the battery systems in there. So in terms of the batteries, I think it's 40 kilowatt standard. 40 kilowatt hours standard, or they advise a 60 kilowatt battery bank, 48 volt on this, to give you that big range using electric engines. extra refrigeration space down here, laundry space as well. Again, a lot of freeboard. And then below us, obviously the hull, bilges. That one I can't lift at the moment. But the shape of the hulls has fixed keels on there, and you can dry out on them. So there's the R4, I think it's 1.3 meters. This is 1.35, and they're developing a system with Dijkstra. So if you can imagine the fixed keel below there, that will have a dagger board in it that will drop down to give you another 40 centimeters draft as well. And that's basically just to reduce leeway when you're sailing upwind. In terms of performance, the yacht should do, according to the polars, around 8 knots at about 40 degrees to the apparent breeze, sailing upwind. So that was your quick tour, boat show tour of the Vaan R5. Really interesting, huge new aluminium cap. Oh, we're under power now. I hardly hear it because of the electric drives. Very, very big, really interesting concept, mixing this high-end styling with really good sustainable materials and giving thought to those. Boat starts at around 1.5 million euros ex-tax, so this one we're on with all its options about 1.9 million. Hope you enjoyed the tour. Hope to take you sailing on it one day. Cheers and bye.